and I'm smelling things, or do I detect a certain unique pungent aroma? This is it. Hateno cheese. It goes crazy for cheese.
It's pretty great.
He cheeses it.
And then like
he does cheese the election a little bit. Yeah.
Whoever was just like, yeah, this cheese, that'll swing the election for me. Can you imagine a president like walking out and was like, hold on, guys. I know what you're thinking. You know, I might not be a better candidate than my other running mate here, but listen, I got a new brand of cheese. And then everyone's like, oh, vote for him.
Well, the thing is, the cheese hasn't been invented in Hyrule. There is no cheese. That's true.
Cheeseless culture, man.
This is it. Tears of the Cheesedom. It's new. It improved. This is the sequel, guys. This is why they made
rated for you.
Wasn't enough cheese in Breath of the Wild.
They properly coagulated that milk. It's about time, or whatever they do.
Yeah, that's a mystery, but you can trade milk for cheese. Yes, great.
I mean, makes sense, I guess. Minus a lot of time and some work.
I think the best thing about doing this quest is just being able to buy the cheese after you do this quest.
You can buy it everywhere.
Because, I'd be buying that cheese everywhere, man.
But is it cow cheese? Is it goat cheese?
It's cow, right?
It's cow cheese, yeah.
Hey.
It's the cows up on the hill.
Now, Cameron, it's vegan cheese.
No. It's lab-grown cheese.
They make it out of acorns, man.
Oh my gosh.
So get this, Cameron. I went to a Mexican restaurant over the weekend. Kira and Kira. So Kira ordered like the veggie fajita. The other Kira, and yes, there's two Kiras, ordered some chicken plate. Matt got a burger. I got shrimp fajitas. And Travis, good old Travis. Like, there's a vegan menu on the menu. So, like, there's a whole section that says vegan. So that indicates to me that everything on this little tiny section has been carefully curated to be 100% vegan. And before Travis even got there, I said to the group, letting you guys know, I bet that he's going to ask if something on the vegan menu is at 100% vegan. So he gets there. He's like, do you want cheese with your vegan whatever? And then Travis is like, oh, yeah. Is the cheese vegan? And he's like, yes, it's actually almond cheese. And I'm like, almond cheese? Almond? You make cheese with almonds?
I've heard of them milking almonds.
Yeah, and then they pasteurize the almond milk into cheese.
With what bacteria, though?
So I'm just like, oh. And I hate vegan cheese. It's so gross. It tastes so disgusting. And it has a weird texture that you just don't want to put in your mouth. Like, if you have it, you're like, ugh, why is this in my mouth right now? Get it out of here. You know that, silly putty stuff that we used to play around with? Like, it has that consistency. So, imagine putting that in your mouth.
Like slimy.
I'm going to take this vegan cheese and copy some newspapers real quick.
You can use it to copy a fingerprint for a safe or something.
Oh my gosh.
No, thank you.
Welcome to A4NB4Y, the Zelda theme podcast that last time was bringing you the news on the Zora and all their sticky situation. And this time, we're going to head over to Hateno and see what's going on there. My name's Cameron, an upcoming hero, and these are my co-hosts.
My name is Anthony, and I have a straw hat on.
My name is Ryan, and I like corn.
Oh, corn is good.
It's got the juice.
It's good for you, citizen.
And I like me some carrots.
So, yeah. So here we are at the home of fine produce and dyed goods, Hateno Village. Oh, goodness. It's been a long time coming, guys. This was one of the first missions I did in this game. I think after we got done with Hebra, I actually made a beeline for Hateno and ended up going through this whole thing. So it's been a minute. My details are a little foggy, but I did take notes back then. So interestingly enough, I have my chicken scratch here that I can reference.
There we go.
Hateno has changed, y'all. It's not the Hateno that we used to know and love.
When I first walked into Hateno Village, which was a while into the story, so I had already done the Zoras because I'm doing everything in a clockwise order. And I thought that they tried to cross-induce Mushroom Kingdom into TOTK. Because there's a bunch of mushrooms everywhere.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's big Fabergé. I mean, I don't even know what they made it out of. It looks like fabric stitched together into these giant mushroom shapes. And they're just kind of placed auspiciously around Hateno. When I first came in here, I was upset with what I was looking at. It was not good.
What did they do to Hateno?
Tebow, I think one of the kids in town, took the place of the dude who used to be the guard at the front gate. Calls us a suspicious guy. He's like, "Halt, suspicious guy." I was like, "That's me, Mr. Suspicious." Pretty great. But aside from him, a lot of our favorite old characters from Hateno are still here. I'm sure you guys remember all of them.
Oh, indeed.
Kochi.
What?
Kochi, the
die shop man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was dying to see him.
He's got a new hat, I think.
He's got a mushroom hat, right?
Yeah. A lot of people have these mushroom hats. And this is finally going to shed some light on our podcast playthrough, at least, on where these mushroom hats are all coming from. A lot of the Misko treasure hunters are wearing this same brand of clothing. It originates here in Hateno, believe it or not.
You can't go treasure hunting without a signature mushroom hat.
Yeah.
Raises the luck stat.
Yeah. So slightly inside the town. Let me just run through some of these NPCs real quick for you. Then I'm sure you're missing them all. We can run into Knack, who is a little bit lost in the sauce in terms of the fashion industry. He actually mistakes you for the mayor at first because he doesn't look at you right away. And he's just, trying to keep up with stuff. If you go to the East Wind, I believe it's called, where Bruce works, there's a whole family running the general store. Bruce has a hat that looks particularly like pizza. It is a mushroom hat, but it also has little mushrooms printed on it. And what appears to be maybe meatballs or something. It's got these white spheres sticking out of it too. Maybe spores or something, but
fashion.
It's very good. It actually looks good on him, which was surprising. He's pretty cool. He'll tell you oh yeah, I'm not really into the whole fashion thing, but my wife is trying to keep up with it, so I wear this hat to try to be supportive. And I'm like, Bruce, that's pretty cool actually. What
a good husband, boyfriend, fiance.
Well, his husband, he's married.
Oh, okay.
Husbando.
But yeah, he just went for the hat. He didn't go for the full outfit. He didn't do the full money. And the hat works with the rest of his outfit really well. Just a personal opinion.
What a good guy.
Across from the general store, though, our good old traditional general store, across from that is what was always a clothing shop, but is now specifically a CC brand clothing shop. And this is where the first time you can kind of catch who this CC character is. I actually want to save this conversation for later.
Dentist clothing.
But just as a side note, you may remember Sophie, who used to work the clothing store. She was the shy one who kind of stood in the corner. When you walked in, she was kind of a jump scare because she was hiding off screen at first. She actually is the sister of this famous fashionista CC, which again we'll get to. Back outside, I mean, we already talked about Kochi a little bit. He has a new method of dyeing sailcloths. So all of those fabrics that we've gotten, if you actually want to apply them, you come here to make the change, which is pretty cool. We've gotten some pretty cool sailcloths so far.
Majora's Mask.
I need to do that.
And a big one that I know that you guys are all waiting for here, Manny, who used to be crazy about Prima.
Oh, yes. I love Manny.
Cricket Man, you know him?
Gotta love Manny.
Man.
Well, unfortunately for Cricket Man, Prima has been married to someone else.
Oh,
So Manny's had to move on. And now
My
he's
guy.
now he's got a thing for Ivy, but he's still on his nonsense. He tried to talk to me about the situation, and I was like, "You know what, Manny? I'm not even going to ask you what your quest is. I'm just going to let this one be cuz I'm kind of done helping you after what happened last time."
It's been 7 years, man.
She says she really likes ancient arowana.
Yeah, oddly enough.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that was interesting. There's as you go around town, you might run into a trio of fashionistas, Celessa, Balmer, and Broca. They just kind of walk around wearing full-on
yes.
gear. And they'll kind of comment on what you're wearing as well.
Oh, no.
Interesting. Yeah.
Where did you get that drab from?
I
Green
think they
on
even stop
green.
you before you go into the clothing store the first time because they all want to go in, but it's like limited admission for some reason. It's a whole
Only the
weird-
high profile quality Hyruleans can get in.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'd be funny if there was an Easter egg, you like wearing all the regular Zelda costumes. Like, oh, what is this? 1986?
And
That would have been funny.
Yeah. A lot of 1986. Nice. So a lot of the characters that you see around Hateno haven't changed much at all. Like I've kind of noted some of the ones that are in new positions or have new style. As you go around town, you'll see some of the farmer folk who are just still like entirely the same character model. Rhodes and Rolera are still here, though the windmill people. Except once you fix Lurelin Village, they actually move back to Lurelin, which is kind of cool. But before you do that, Rolera can't get like any sleep whatsoever because she's so worried about Lurelin, and Rhodes has just been taking on her shifts at the Windmill Watch because she's just like home distraught. Kind of an interesting setup. But yeah, that's the thing. It's like everybody's kind of torn between Mushroom and not Mushroom because Mushroom is the CC brand. Let's be clear. All these giant mushrooms in the streets, the CC's doing. So if we want to get a closer look, we have to go see the CC brand clothing store. I don't even remember what the name of the store is.
Ventist Clothing.
CC is the fungus among us.
You say Ventist?
Ventist Clothing.
Okay, Ventist Clothing.
Why? I don't know. Makes
Yeah.
0 sense.
But there are some older folk in town, and they kind of have the kind of feeling that I had when I first saw it. They're like, yo, these decorations are too much. This is an eyesore. I don't know what's going on. The world's changing. They're just all upset. And I was like, I feel you, man. I don't know what this is all about either, but I'm going to look into it. And so I went to Ventus Clothing. And what I found there was a plot I did not expect. It thickens immediately, and then it's our job to really seek out the truth of the situation and help the town through a big old conflict here.
Yeah, it escalates almost immediately when you walk in.
Yeah. So Cece begins making her introduction, and we actually have the lines pulled up here. And I think we wanted to do a little dramatic reading of these lines. How should who would you rather be, Anthony? Would you rather be Reed or Cece?
I feel more comfortable with Reed.
Feel more comfortable with Reed?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I'll kick us off then.
All right.
Oh, pardon me. Are you an admirer here to meet the incomparable Cece? I must say, you don't seem to show any sort of interest in fashion. Anywho, welcome to the Ventus Clothing, the only boutique in the world which carries the CC brand. And if you weren't aware... And then this is where Reed enters.
Cece, you've got to quit littering the village with your weed art pieces. Maybe you don't realize plants need their sleep too. Those eyesores are so bright at night, they're keeping the veggies awake. It's a real problem for the crops. Hateno's foundation is the produce. What are we gonna do if it fails? My duty is to look after the village.
Look after the village, you say? Who do you suppose you have to thank for Hateno's rejuvenation?
It didn't need rejuvenating. Hateno village was a peaceful and fine, where folks live quiet lives, and that's how it should stay.
Do they now? Then let us leave the matter to the people to decide if you are so confident in the people's interests. My avant-garde approach versus this mayor's quaint bygone way. The citizens will decide which outlook will drive the future of the village by holding a mayoral election.
You're calling for a mayoral election? Sure, suits me. I'll win that pretty easily.
Sophie, I delegate the management of the election to you.
Come on, Clavia. I don't feel like sticking around here any longer. It's time we headed home.
All right.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Escalated.
So we have ourselves a Hateno mayoral election on our hands. Straight up.
One between vegetables and mushrooms.
Yeah, Cece's trying to run a city business in a small town. And the current mayor is not having it. Apparently, these big old mushroom decorations are keeping the veggies awake. And that's the problem he decides to kind of attack with.
Yeah.
Is you are somehow damaging the crops with your decorations. It's an interesting...
He's like, the foundation of Hateno is produce, not fashion.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the future versus tradition, fashion versus the vegetables.
Who will win? Ba, ba, ba.
Can't we just have fashionable vegetables?
Hey, don't ruin it.
We can't have fashionable vegetables, all right? You are here to be the citizen. You have to decide who should win.
All right, so let me give you a couple game plans here. We got Cece, all right? She's coming in hot with the mushroom giveaway. You talk to Sophie, you talk to Cece, she's like, "Hey, you know what? Maybe some people aren't into fashion yet, and maybe we can show them that we care by giving them some free mushrooms." Gives you a handful of mushrooms. Says go give these to every townsperson that you don't see wearing Cece brand clothing. Don't worry about the kids. Their votes don't count.
You know what I love the most about that conversation where she gives you the mushrooms is that she asked you, like, first and foremost, before she gives you the quest, which your answer depends, nothing. Like, it's nothing. She will give you the mushrooms regardless of what you say, and she will call you a CC voter regardless of what you say. She asks you if you're a CC voter or Reed voter and if you're undecided. And I recently found out that no matter what you choose, it prompts a different dialogue that basically just ends up her saying, "Oh, well, you're a CC voter anyways. I know you." So if you say like Reed, she's like, "Wow, well, you're probably just being nice." And then if you're undecided, she's like, "Oh, well, in that case, welcome to Team CC."
Yeah.
So either way, like, you're Team CC when you talk to her.
That's very on brand for Cece, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's coming in full force. I mean, she's got it going. Sophie might not be the best manager of the election, but hey, she's got a solid strat out the gate. Whereas Mayor Reed doesn't really have a strategy at first. He's trying to work on some secret weapons over here.
Yes. Very secret weapons.
But I think if you talk to him right now, he's just kind of like he's kind of pondering what he can do to win the election. And he's like, you know what? If I come up with a new signature recipe, that's something that will like that young people will like and that people from outside the village will come for. Like I can help the rejuvenation of the city or as of Hateno Village as is. Like we won't need the fashion, right? Like I just need something that puts me like in competition here. Yeah, we're gonna put Hateno on the map. And he's like, there's this old recipe that my grandfather like worked on, but I don't know where to find it. Something with a pungent aroma. and he doesn't really have much else to add. The interesting thing, I mean, you can help him with that. So his strat is this secret recipe. So as Link, you can look for this around town. There's actually a bunch of wells you can jump down. I don't think it's down there. I'm pretty sure. What you end up finding is up the hill at the dairy farm where you can normally purchase milk or talk to Koyan. She's the one who like used to give you milk in Breath of the Wild. One of the people out there is like, oh yeah, you know what? We used to work on this recipe. But the world wasn't ready for it. So, we stashed in a bottle. We just haven't been able to find it. But it's actually just like in the pond behind the house. So you can, I think it's even on the island back there. So you just got to make like a little boat, scooter, whatever, get over to the island, get your recipe in a bottle and bring it back. And immediately the farmers are like, yeah, we could make this, no problem. So they do. They make Hateno cheese.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. And you bring it back to Reed, and he's like, this is everything I wanted it to be. This is amazing.
He gasps. He cries. Yeah. He cheers.
He eats cheese.
Yeah, cheese becomes available in the general store, becomes available with certain traveling merchants, becomes available at the HQ, Lookout Landing. Pretty much anywhere you can get produce, you can now get Hateno cheese because it's a world famous.
Hateno is now on the map. That's what's important.
Absolutely. So that's, those are the things that are getting people to talk about the selection, getting people really into it. But there's more to it than that. If you talk to Sophie, about the election, because, she's Cece's manager, she says, hey, Cece's been sneaking out like every night. I don't know what's going on. I think the election's just eating away at her, but something's up. Can you follow her, make sure she's okay, or what have you? So she literally asked you to track Cece at night. So you wait up on a rooftop if you want. That's what I did.
Like Batman.
Yeah, ye old trailing through the village. You actually don't have to go far. She only goes like 2 houses down.
Crosses the street.
Crosses the street, goes into like a storehouse. I think it's like a silo, right?
Yeah.
It might even be a windmill, but I don't remember if there was a windmill on it.
It's a very circular, small building.
Yeah. So she goes in, and you can kind of ascend your way up to like a windowsill and get your way into the upper window. And you straight up spy on Cece. And you won't believe what she's up to, man. Scandal of the century.
I feel like we should read this line that she says just because it's so perfect.
Oh, this Cece in the Watchtower line?
Yeah, like I feel like just read it because it's just perfect the way that she says it.
Okay. All right, I'll go for it. Perfect. I do believe nobody saw me. I'm free to enjoy another of my late night meals in secret. How I love my nightly vegetables. The shine, the luster, the fragrance. Yes, indeed. Now this is luxury dining. Without further ado, let's dig in. It gives you like... She's eating, right? The shine, the crunch, it's so good. Thanks to the farmer's deft touch and the quality of the soil, I can even eat the skin without misgivings. Honestly, vegetables from anywhere but Hateno village do not compare. Though I've built a reputation on fashion here in private, I must admit the simple, unadorned things are the best. There's simply no denying it. Well, if I don't return home, Sophie might get suspicious.
So, this is her villain arc.
This is
come to climax here.
She's eating healthier than anyone knew.
Yeah.
Can't believe it.
She secretly loves those veggies.
Cece secretly loves the veggies. She has mad respect for the Hateno farmers. And, I mean, one might even argue that she came back home for the vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
After leaving to become a famous fashionista.
But now one might wonder, well, why is she trying to outshine these vegetables and outshine Reed in the classic way?
I don't know, man. I mean, I think
one might.
In this situation, she still has to make a living, right? I mean, she still has to. She's the world famous Cece. She still wants to bring her fashion to the world. And if the mayor is the one who's trying to stop her, then calling for the election is just. That's just strats, man. I don't know.
Take him out.
I think she was just trying to get some respect and some, push back against the mayor here. I don't even think she really wants to be mayor.
They got to make concessions, man.
The mayors?
Yeah, they got to come together and find some common ground here where everybody can win. What is this whole one or the other nonsense? Get it at you.
Well, listen. I mean, I hear you, but it's veggies versus fashion. I mean,
It's veggies versus fashion, Cameron.
I mean, I've heard the fashion of Zelda. I don't know if I've ever heard the veggie of Zelda. So,
have you ever had a Hateno carrot?
Yeah,
I don't know if I say that.
Like, have you ever had Hateno cheese though? Like,
well, the cheese is like a new thing.
I know, but
that's
like,
not really the traditional thing.
If you have it, that might win. I'm just saying, this Hateno cheese.
Like the counterpoint to the mushrooms, man. I mean,
tell me of your experience with the Hateno carrot.
Listen, they got some pumpkins too. Mighty good. They got some good produce. I mean, listen,
it is pumpkin spice time.
I helped out those kids with their school lessons, and now I got hardy radishes growing in Hateno. And they make them for me like every time I visit. So, just saying,
those things are bangers, man.
But then again, CC's fashion. I mean, the Drip City.
Yeah, I love wearing mushrooms on my head.
Oh, it's more than mushrooms, man. Have you seen this thing? You have seen it. I know you don't like it already. So you're not the right audience for that question. But have you seen it? It's so good. All right. So CC's not the only one with a secret, though.
Nah, we about to do Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah,
sneak mission.
If you go and talk to Clavia, she's upset. She's like, Reed is going crazy over this election. Kind of a similar story to what Sophia had to say. She's like, yeah, I think it's just really wearing down on him. Every night he goes into his work shed and I have no idea what's going on. Can you try to figure out for me like what's happening with my husband? And so you do. I mean, he's in there all the time. Like either he's in there or it's locked. You can't go in. So what you got to do. Remember that well system I talked about when we were looking for the cheese?
Oh, yeah.
We jump down into the well. We use the overworld map to figure out when we're below the shed. And then we ascend our way into the shed.
And we have your little head popping out as you watch what Reed is doing in the shadows. I think if you just go in there, like you can just like
you go in there when he's not there.
You can just see what he's up to.
Because if you jump up while he's there, he'll kick you out. But if you go in there when he's not in there, then you can read his journal. And I don't even think you have the journal here in this document that you shared with us.
I don't know.
But the other scandal of the century.
Yeah, he's a vegetable farmer, isn't he?
You know what, Cam? You know what? Take a guess. Take a guess at what Reed's been up to.
I'd say he's been trying on different costumes because he likes dressing up.
That's a good guess, but it's not right. My dude is trying to genetically create a new vegetable that has a CC aesthetic.
So a mushroom.
He's trying to make he doesn't want to make a mushroom. He wants to make a vegetable that's shaped like a mushroom.
Oh, goodness.
But he's been secretly studying CC's designs so that he could make a vegetable that like is just as popular as CC's brand for the youngsters, Yeah,
well, if you can get square watermelons in Japan because they grow them in a box to make them into a square, then I'm sure he can figure something out to turn a vegetable into like a mushroom looking thing.
Yeah, I think he's not. I think it would have been much easier for him to take the physical route and do that, just constrain the growth of a vegetable into a mushroom shape. I think he's trying more of the like selective breeding route that takes generations of vegetables to accomplish. So he just doesn't have the time to make it happen.
So he's turned to altering the genetics of them.
Yes.
He's a straight mad scientist.
Spoiler, after this election is over, and I won't tell you who wins, he actually does end up making this new vegetable. I know. And it's like a sun pumpkin. I don't even remember. Something like that. It has the same effect as the Sundelions. Like it's another food that you can cook to make things that take away the gloom.
Nice.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
But it's like a green and yellow pumpkin in the shape of a mushroom. There's a
It's
lot
a
going on
gourd.
there. It's a gourd. It's a gourd that stands on end. Pretty amazing, if you ask me. But that doesn't settle our election.
No.
See, now we got the strats, we got the dirt, we got everything you could ever want for the perfect mudslinging election breakdown. But of course, Link doesn't really talk to people, so it's election time. We do go back and we tell Sophie and we tell Clavia about what their business partners are up to. So somebody knows other than Link, but the secret's not out of the bag. It's not out there for the world to see. But it does come down to election time.
And we go to the town square.
And if you this one actually starts out with Reed, but we do have another dramatic reading here for election time. Cam, do you think you could be Sophie in this one? Maybe Clavia even? I don't know if you wanted to be both.
So Sophie is the bashful one. What's Clavia's?
Clavia is the mayor's wife. I don't know.
She's just kind of normal.
Yeah, she's pretty straightforward. She doesn't have anything special going on with her. She's just, she's out and about talking to villagers.
I could do both.
All right, so before we start, Cameron, you must toss your vote in just like the citizens. Who wins, who doesn't, what happens?
Wait, they're voting before this happens?
I mean,
they're having like their debates at the election is what's about to happen.
Oh, okay.
But
I would have to go with Reed personally because there's more utility in vegetables than there is in fashion. Fashion is one of those things. It's like a first world thing, whereas you have to make sure your basic necessities are met before you care about fashion. And one of your basic necessities is food, and that would be vegetables. So I don't know. Personally, I would go for the thing that's more useful.
Okay.
Fashion.
But fashion. Talking to a guy that wears the same 7 shirts. No cap.
As somebody who was happy that there were also NPCs who didn't like the decorations when they showed up to town, I can say that my vote was also for Mayor Reed.
Yeah.
For most of this arc here. But we'll see how it goes.
All right. So yeah, the election kicks off with Sophie kind of announcing the election, and she says that there's going to be a proceeding where both the running mates can talk and kind of give their spiel of what they're about and what their plan is for the town. And we start off with Reed, and he kind of just goes, hi, I'm Reed. I believe that the heart of our village is its pastoral culture. We've built a tight, close-knit, self-sufficient lifestyle here in Hateno, and I don't want to see us lose that. My plan is to strengthen the community with new local specialties, starting with our brand new Hateno cheese.
I am the world-renowned Cece, Hyrule's premier fashion designer. But you knew that, of course. Together we can turn this backwater village into Hyrule's go-to destination for all things stylish. Vegetables don't make the world go round. It's glamour that rakes in the cash, and nobody knows glamour like me, darlings.
Well, fashion comes and goes. Your style is trending now, but it'll be over soon. And then where will you be?
Nonsense. It's trends that shape the world, not the other way around.
That's enough! Both of you are just arguing for more of what you like, not what's best for Hateno. You can't fool me, Cece. You've loved simple things, plain things forever, including the vegetables of Hateno Village. I know for a fact you hide in the silo at night and snack on your vegetables. And you, Reed, your secret's out too. I know you've been secretly studying Cece's designs in your shed too. You think there's something there you can use to get the youth to care about vegetable farming?
Cece, I can't deny any of it. It should make me happy that you came in and livened the village up.
No, Reed, it is I who should be ashamed. My childish pride would not allow me to admit the truth. The trends and styles I've built and made my name on are founded by the traditional culture that our forebears worked for. Please forgive me, everyone.
I'm sorry, too.
I hereby withdraw my candidacy.
Cece, wait. I'd be a fool to pretend you're not the reason our village is flourishing. I don't want to deny what you're due.
Did I hear you're working on new vegetables to attract the youth of today? That sounds like a CC worth endeavor.
Why, yes. People of Hateno, we've come to a decision. The best way to keep Hateno Village vibrant is to work together to combine our traditional culture with some new ideas.
That's what I'm talking about. I did not skip ahead and read it, so I'm glad that what I thought was best ended up happening.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fashioned and vegetables.
CC does withdraw, and Reed becomes the default mayor, as he's always been. That's where his expertise is. And the town goes forward and flourishes. It's pretty great. I still don't like the decorations, but hey, I can agree with, the compromise.
She bringing that money to that village, you know what I'm saying?
And I'm pretty sure this is how you earn the CC hat as well.
Yeah, I think you go back and talk to her, and she's like, only you deserve to wear this.
Yeah, it's a one-of-a-kind special piece that only one person, has the right to, and it's you. And it is fierce and fabulous, and it's basically a meme.
Going right on eBay.
And yeah, no, I was gonna say, like, I'm over here on the Hyrule back market. Like, hey, anyone want 3,000 rupees for this? I'll take 3,500. Anybody? 3,500 going once, twice, 4,000, 4,000. Okay.
Well, as far as I can tell, it does nothing except for make you look a certain way.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't worn it yet. I tried it on, did not like it, and took it immediately off.
I'm pretty sure
put it back on since.
The trick with this piece of equipment is that you can wear it and talk to anybody who's wearing CC brand clothing, and they'll comment on it and how you must be like an amazing, fashion head. They all recognize the brand, basically. Not that really gets you anything special, but just, I guess, respect from NPCs. So
respect from clouded NPCs.
That's something you're into. Go for it. Who am I to stop your
joy? Link posts it on Hyrulegram.
Oh no.
Okay.
With his Sheikah slate. Then again, he's probably the only person who, he's probably the only person who has Hyrulegram because he's the only one in Hyrule with a camera.
It's got to be Puregram at this point.
Yeah,
right?
Puregram.
I mean, that's her whole deal.
Puregram.
They got to put some monitors in on the towers.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So I mean, we've been to Hateno on the side of other stories already, so no need to go back over the school or Zelda's house or even Robbie's lab, because we ended up talking about that too. But yeah, there's not really much else going on here. I mean, this election, it was a great side story. Like, I definitely had fun doing this, going around giving mushrooms to all the villagers, discovering a recipe for cheese. Once you do that, you can now go to that farm and just trade milk for cheese if you have milk in your inventory, which is a lot more common in this game than it was in Breath of the Wild. With cheese, you can make some cool stuff like pizza.
Yes.
Which, I mean, honestly, we've all just been waiting for that one, right? I mean, that gotta have a pizza recipe.
I don't think Tears of the Kingdom is complete without pizza.
Cowabunga, my dude.
You can also make cheesecake.
Call it the Hateno pie. Cheesecake.
What?
Call it the Hateno pie, he said.
Hateno pie.
Yeah, the pizza.
Grab me a slice.
I think one of the best things that you can make, which has a lot of HP, which I actually had this planned, but I didn't plan on going over it. But now I'll go over it since we're talking about recipes. If you want a lot of health, make the gourmet cheesy meat bowl. So it's 2 raw gourmet meats, Hylian rice, Hateno cheese, and rock salt.
All right.
But you need 2 raw gourmet meats, and I know those are pretty rare.
Yeah, gourmet meat. I mean,
gotta farm them.
That's where your health is coming from in that recipe.
Yeah.
I mean, the higher level you get, I feel like the more gourmet meat you come across. But yeah, it's good. My favorite thing is to still just go over, check up with my girl Uma, because she's making them hearty radishes for me. Just throw one of those in a pot, and you get a full recovery health item. Then when you have as many hearts as I do, it's like the cheapest way to just be like, yeah.
So if you throw 1 in, like what happens if you throw 5 in?
If you throw 5 in,
it gives you bonus hearts based on each extra one, right?
Yeah. So
you can sit there with like 50 hearts essentially.
Yeah, so like a regular hardy radish will give you 1 bonus heart. A big hardy radish will give you 3. So if you throw 5 in of the regular ones, you'll get +5. You throw in 5 in of the +3s, and you get like +15.
Dang.
But if you don't have space for those hearts, then they don't do anything. They just.
Aren't they yellow hearts that just go on the end?
I think they're yellow hearts, but I think you can only have up to a maximum number of them.
Oh.
So they get cut off if you ask for more yellow hearts than you actually have space for. So the more regular hearts you have, the less good it is to have a ridiculous +12 yellow heart meal.
I see.
But I've always just kind of done 1 anyway because I just like the full restore aspect of like, give me back all my regular hearts and then give me like 1 extra on top. It makes a lot more sense to me to have like a handful of those dishes at the ready rather than just 1 big one. Because then you can lose a bunch of health and just heal it all back, and then lose a bunch of health and heal it all back, rather than like I got a bunch of health and lost it all once, and then I'm done.
One of my favorite recipes in this game is 3 meats of any variety and 2 Sundelions.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty useful.
I think it gives you a perfect +6 because I think it's 3 per Sundelion.
Yeah. So before I go, because for anybody listening doesn't grasp, I'm pretty much at the end of the game in my actual playthrough of this. Just waiting to go down into the depths for that final run, and before I do that, I'm gonna load up on Sundelion meals. Possibly even some Hateno pumpkin meals because
because you can.
So wait, I wonder if you cook that pumpkin, is it just gloom recovery? Because like normal pumpkins give you fortify, right? So it's like a replacement essentially.
I think it's just recovery.
Because that would be broken if you get defense and gloom.
It probably gives you more hearts than the Sundelions too, which I'm not even sure if they give hearts at all. Maybe like half of one.
So,
yeah, I don't know.
It's an herb, so
I really think it might just be like a 1-to-1. Like it's just a plot item. That's the only difference. Which is upsetting, but what can you do? But yeah, that's our episode on Hateno. If anybody wants to write in and tell us what happens with Manny if you try to help him out again, feel free to do that because I'm not gonna use my time to help him. Sorry.
Ancient Arowana, man.
I hope not. It's another one of those. Can you go talk to her for me and figure out what she likes? Like, Manny, we've been through this. You should probably just do it and get rejected.
All right, here we go.
Normal way.
He's in the place to grow stuff. He needs to grow a backbone.
Manny's Beloved is the quest name.
No. Maybe it works out if that's the quest name. Maybe Manny's had a lot of growth in the last 7 years.
Oh no.
What happened?
Highlander lizards.
No, 10 hot-footed frogs to kick things off.
To kick things off. Does it work? Does she actually like the frogs, or is it another panic that she doesn't actually like? She just wanted to have something to tell you.
I'm finding that out right now.
We got T Giggles on the case.
Oh, Manny, I can't wait to find out.
That felt forced, my guy.
So that's the end of the quest. You give them to her. She goes, "Oh, cool, frogs," and then he thanks you and gives you 10 mushrooms, and that's it.
So there's no conclusion to the drama at all.
I mean, that's all the quest guide says about Manny's Beloved quest on how to complete it. And maybe there's a second quest that's called something else, but
there's got to be more to it than that. We'll do some further investigation, figure out. Maybe not. We probably will never reference it again.
All right. So in the quest, Manny's Beloved takes place in Hateno. You go talk to him, and he says he wants a gift for Miss Ivy, and he's trying to find out what she likes. So he asks you, because he's too scared to go talk to her himself, what he thinks would make her happy. which starts the quest, and then you go to talk to Ivy, where she's sweeping outside, and she basically says, I don't know. I've never thought about what gift I would want. Maybe frogs? Sure, why not? I like frogs. I want 100 of them. Can you please give me 100 hot-footed frogs? And so then you report back to Manny, and he kind of freaks out and screams like, 100 hot-footed frogs, like has a mental breakdown and just cries. And then he asks you, like, can you at least help me out by getting me 10 of them? And then you give him 10. He thanks you, gives you some mushrooms, and that's literally the end of the quest.
Oh, he just wants you to get him started.
Yeah, he doesn't
You don't
finish.
even get to see how it ends. Wow.
No. Yeah.
I wonder what happens if you come back with 100.
It's the engagement gift. 100 frogs.
That's actually one of the plagues in Exodus, is what that is.
I mean, you're not wrong. That's probably more than 100.
So anyway,
I would love to see a finish to this quest. Like if you can just keep going back to him and like getting free mushrooms for every hot-footed frog.
Or what if every day you go back and he just updates on how many frogs he has? So like every day he gets one more frog, and then at 100 something happens.
Turns out she didn't actually want 100 hot-footed frogs.
She thought it was really weird that he actually did that. Rip.
She had questions about why I was delivering them when you were the one who asked her what she liked.
You got just a giant crate of frogs.
I heard you like frogs, so
Also, I'm like,
hot-footed kind.
When Link said that, like asked her, like, like if you were to get a gift, like what kind of gift would you get? I'm like 100% certain she was just so confused. Like the first thing that she thought of was just like, I don't frogs, maybe.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what happened with Prima in Breath of the Wild.
Like she didn't actually want frogs. She's just like, yeah, this is a joke, so frogs, haha, give me 100 of them, ha. Link's like, all right, I got you, bro. She's like, what?
Not everyone is like the baked apple girl from Breath of the Wild who was like, yo, I don't like this honeymoon at all. This is pretty much the worst honeymoon location. But let me tell you about how much I love baked apples. And just sends you on that mission.
If only this place had baked apples, man. It would be my dream place. Anywhere with them apples. Manny just likes vicarious gift giving.
Manny needs to stop looking at people from far away and never talking to them. That's my hot take on Manny. I know, real controversial, but Manny's got issues.
Antisocial Manny.
I got nothing else to talk about with Hateno, quite honestly. I'm ready to close this episode out. We're at about the 1 hour mark, maybe not even that. But I'm cool to close this one if you guys are.
Let's cheese it.
Let's cheese this one, guys. All right. So, y'all, this has been our episode on Hateno of A for No, B for Yes. Thank you so much for listening. Next episode, I don't know what we're planning just yet. We have it written down somewhere. Don't worry, we got this. Anyway, if you'd like to reach out to us, you can do so on our website. Link will be in the description, as always. And in the meantime, we will catch you in a few weeks. Peace out.
Eat your vegetables.
Did you get all that? What's the past tense of scoot? Is it just scooted?
Scoted.
You scat.
I scat.
Yo, I play scat at work sometimes.
Don't drink and skit, y'all.